considered very graphic or explicit. Was that a conscious decision or simply just your writing style?
That was simply my writing style. You know, I get that question all the time. Why did you decide to write erotic? I didn't really choose to write erotic. I'm just a very detailed writer who actually writes in detail about sexuality as well and the way that people actually talk. I mean, I've yet to in my entire life have a woman come up to me and say, oh, his manhood was big, or, you know, you should see his tool. I write about the way that we really talk, the way that we really make love, to the point where a lot of people thought, and many people still think, that I'm a man. They can't believe that a black woman would be so open about sexuality. In the beginning, when I first started this, one reason why I continue doing this is because a lot of women would email me and say, thank you for letting me know that I'm normal. And I know over the years, many, many women have said that I have liberated them sexually and stuff by really letting them know that it's okay to have certain desires. My one big thing now that I have to teach women is sexual responsibility, because with liberation and empowerment also comes being responsible when it comes to your sexuality. Women in general, we are still very much undervalued in society. I think that women now need to understand that we are very powerful in everything that we do. And I think that there's a lot of travesty still going on in the world, particularly in other countries, and even in this country, that have women totally oppressed. I think that not only when it comes to sex, but when it comes to women who put up with disrespect, abuse, and everything else, one thing that I say all the time is women need to learn to love themselves. And if a woman truly loves herself, she will not let anyone mistreat her. But it's very rare that a woman is in a situation that she just 100% cannot get out of. Most of us misclassify our problems. There are problems that are solvable problems, and there are problems that are coping problems. But a lot of the situations that a lot of women are in, they could change them if they really wanted to. It's hard for somebody to victimize you unless you're allowing them to victimize you. And I'm not talking about if somebody gets upset, I'm not talking about a woman who's walking down the street and gets jumped in the alley. I'm talking about the women who spend decades with a man in a toxic relationship, thinking it is admirable in some kind of way for them to allow themselves to be mistreated, thinking that they're doing it for the benefit of their children, who grow up and then get into that vicious cycle. You know, there comes a time we have to be responsible for our own lives. They have to take that step, and they have to be prepared to leave. What happens is somebody has to get to the point where they realize that they will not put up with something for another second, of another minute, of another hour, of another day. And until they get to that point, no one can help them. We all are a culmination of everything we've ever been taught, everything we've learned, and everything we've experienced. And I think that because of those three things in me, I just look at life a little bit differently than other people look at it. I try to take something positive out of every experience, even if it's on the surface a negative experience. I feel like as long as you learn from it and don't repeat it or don't put yourself in that same situation, then it was worth going through that in order to learn the lesson.